I didn't need smaller thighs. I didn't need a smaller waist. I didn't need abs. Although, if you asked me all this 10 years ago, I would have told you I absolutely did need those things. What I actually needed was proof that I was capable. Because for years, and we're talking a lot of years, I thought that if I could just get lean enough, get small enough, that I would finally feel confident. And I did get lean, and I still didn't feel like enough. Like, skinny did not change my life the way that I thought it would or the way that I hoped it would. It was strength that changed everything. So, if you're here, you're probably also exhausted from years of obsessing over being smaller. And this might be the shift that you need, because a lot of the women that I work with aren't just exhausted from dieting, they're exhausted from tying their worth to that number on the scales. I mean, you've probably lost weight before, you know how to be smaller, but you'll also realize that that confidence that you thought would come with it never hung around. And after a while, it might start to think like maybe you've missed your window. Maybe you were already your best self. Maybe those days have passed and we just need to deal with it and move on. But you feel behind. And you feel behind because your confidence was built on something as fragile as the size, the shape, the weight of your body. Most women that I speak to don't actually want to be small. It's all tied in with how they want to feel. They want to feel secure and desired and in control. And we've been taught that smaller equals all of that. Smaller is better, smaller is more disciplined, smaller is more worthy. And I've lived that too. I spent most of my life either overweight and ashamed or lean and terrified of losing it. I've been a stripper and sought out validation through my appearance. I've done the same with bodybuilding. It was all a performance, it was all an act. Underneath both of those versions of me, I was still fragile because my body changed, but I was still the same person. And that is what no one talks about. When your worth is tied to shrinking, you will always feel unstable. So the shift that I made, I stopped training to burn calories and I started training to build. I didn't do more workouts, it wasn't more punishment. I had intention, I was making progress, and I had the evidence that I was changing who I was. And we're bought into a fitness industry that constantly sells smaller as the finish line, but smaller is unstable. Like, you can lose £10 and still hate what you see in the mirror. But when you add 10 kilos to your deadlift, like, something shifts up here. You feel unstoppable. You feel like you can take on the world. And the strength has given you proof. And it is this proof that builds your new identity. So be honest. Are you going to the gym and picking up lighter weights than you know that you could? Or are you completely avoiding the weight section? Or are you choosing workouts based on how many calories you're burning them? Because most women train to shrink themselves, to take up less space, to feel smaller, to feel tighter, whatever word works for you. But when you train to burn, you leave the gym feeling depleted. And when you train to build, you leave feeling powerful. And that is a huge difference. And in my coaching, strength isn't about smashing yourself. It's not about constantly chasing PBs. It's about collecting evidence. What we do is we focus on compound lifts and progressive overload. Yes, we have a clear structure. We have efficient sessions because nobody's got time for hours and hours in the gym. But it's not because more is better. It's because measurable progress builds self-trust. So when you see the numbers go up in the gym, you stand differently, you eat differently, you speak differently, and you stop obsessing because you care about performance, and performance feels empowering. And when fat loss is your only goal, we know the weekend ruins you. The scales jump up and you spiral. You miss a workout and feel like a failure and just start again Monday. But when strength's the goal, Food becomes fuel. It becomes something that you enjoy. It becomes something that you respect. Rest becomes strategic. You don't feel guilty for resting. And consistency becomes your standard because you're no longer desperate to be smaller. You're anchored in becoming stronger. And that is a completely different energy. That is the energy that we are here for. And no, you're not going to wake up confident. You accumulate confidence over time. It's reps, just like in the gym. It's showing up when you're tired. It's doing the hard things imperfectly. You don't become confident and then train. You train in a way that makes confidence inevitable. And this is where everything shifts. You stop walking into the gym hoping, praying, planning on shrinking. You walk in expecting to improve. You would stop scanning your body in every single photo and instead start noticing how you carry yourself. You stop thinking that you're past your best because strength doesn't expire at 25. We need strength beyond 25, beyond 30, beyond 40. Strong women don't feel fragile in life. They feel capable, and capable is so magnetic. You feel calmer in your body. Weight fluctuations don't feel like an emergency. You stand differently. You trust yourself in hard moments. You're not desperately trying to be smaller to feel okay. You might still want fat loss, and that is completely valid, but it stops feeling like the thing that determines whether you're okay. And this is why strength is an absolute non-negotiable in my world. It's not because I want you smaller, it's because I want you anchored. You spent years chasing smaller and it's left you exhausted. So maybe it's time to chase something that actually gives you something back. Strong changed my life. And it's not because of how it made me look, but because of who it made me become.